Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paul. And I promise I'll be brief, and I'm the last speaker. This is the hardest work I've ever done. It's honestly sometimes the most heartbreaking, but it's also the most inspiring, and I think the most meaningful and the most important. And we've been at it at CRED for 6 years. Many of you have been at this for 10, 20, 30 years. But I've never been more hopeful and more inspired than I am now. And for a couple reasons. One, I just look at a room like this. Think of the power. Think of the leadership. Think of the courage in this room. Think of the difference you're making every single day in neighborhoods on the south and west sides across the city. This is extraordinarily difficult, but extraordinarily heroic work. And every single one of you have dedicated your lives, and yes, risk your lives on a daily basis to make our community safer. So please give yourselves a round of applause. I can't tell you how thankful I am. Secondly, I'm hopeful and inspired because I'm not just interested in effort, I'm interested in outcomes and in results. And when I look at last year, communities Westside, Austin, North Lawndale, Garfield Park, Southside, Englewood, Pullman, West Pullman, Rosen, neighborhoods that are down 30, 40% in gun violence last year. Give yourselves a round of applause for those kind of results. Historically, we all know those are some of Chicago's most violent neighborhoods. So the city is down 14%. Those neighborhoods are down 30, 35, 40, 42%. The city doesn't go down if those neighborhoods don't go down. If Austin doesn't go down, the city can't go down. If Englewood doesn't go down, the city can't go down. So you guys just aren't making those neighborhoods safer, you're making the city safer. So where do we need to go? Start of the year, what's our goals for this year? A couple things. One, we have to keep scaling this work. We know we're not at scale. We know there's so many men and women and teens we're not serving yet. We have to keep scaling our work and hold ourselves accountable for results and be vulnerable and be humble and talk about, yes, our successes, but our failures and how we get better. And we need that kind of leadership from all of you. Secondly, we all have to get younger. And we all know the reality that unfortunately many of our shooters and those being shot are getting younger and younger. 4 of us last night spent time in the living room of a 13-year-old. And I don't want to get emotional, but he was so little when he answered the door, I thought it was his younger brother. This was a tiny, there's no way he was 100 pounds. But this young man is caught in a tremendous cycle of violence, and if something doesn't change rapidly for him, he's going to die or someone else is going to die. So we all have to bring our work down to the youth and stop the pipeline. Third, we have to challenge the business community. I'm so glad that Jack and others are here, Derek. Businesses have to invest in our communities. What Discover is doing, if you guys haven't seen it at 85th and Cottage, it's extraordinary. It's a huge facility, 500 jobs. They're making a difference. And guess what? They're making a profit. This isn't charity. This isn't philanthropy. They're making money. We need businesses to invest in our communities. We just need healthy communities, and business has a role to play. And finally, I appreciated Glenn and the commander here, but the police have to become more effective. They have to build trust. They have to have policing that's honest, not abusive. We saw what happened in Memphis recently. That's not a unique issue. We know the history of abuse here in Chicago, and they need to step up. So if we can scale and hold ourselves accountable, if we can work with young people, if we can get businesses to step up, and if we can get the police to continue to build trust and be out there with us, talking to the community, we have a chance to do something extraordinary. Stepping back, what's our goal? We were down 14% last year. If we can keep that going, 14, 15, 20% the next couple of years, in the next 4 or 5 years, we could be below 400 homicides in the city. And let me be clear, that's still way too high, but I was born in 1964. We have not been below 400 homicides since 1965. Think about that. So if we can hit that goal and then keep going to 300, 200, in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, Chicago could be a radically different place. And if that happens, and I have a lot of confidence, a lot of faith it will, it's going to be because of all the hard work and tenacity and perseverance and courage all of you demonstrate. We often say that we work so children can play. All we want to do is give our children their childhoods back. Thank you for the hard work. God bless. Look forward to a great year.